Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and this special edition of This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh. So much has happened, and we'll catch up with few of the important events. Namaskar, Dr. Sahab, welcome.
Namaskar.
So, Dr. Sahab, are you overall disappointed, or you are happy the way results in US election this 2022, which we have seen?
I think the result of this last week result shows that democracy is working. So, because why I say that? Because always in any democracy, one party should not have White House, Congress, and Senate together. Because if you have all those three things together, then sometime you may steamroll certain things which may not be beneficial to the public of the country. So it's always good. Now it's good that White House and Senate is with the Democrats, which is more important or more significant, and House is with the Republican. So at least there will be some check and balances there. And I think personally I like check and balances. It means there is some opposition there. And opposition is always very constructive and it's very useful in democracy.
Okay, so here is the thing. You may say that opposition is always very constructive, but that is not what we have seen in the last, even during the last president's time also. When countries divided, polarized, they kind of don't let things move even for the growth of the nation.
No, but I think that right now the majority of the Republican Party is so small. So I think in any given issue, a lot of Republican can walk across the party line, and vice versa. So I don't think we should worry about that, and we always hope that all the member of Congress and the Senates and everyone should be more professional, more calm and cool-minded, and do what is good for the people.
So what do you think worked in favor of Democrats? Because there are multiple factors which are emerging as critical angles for President Biden's administration, including economic situation, then oil price rise, unemployment. There is a economic slowdown, and big companies are laying off in massive scale. So, in spite of all that, something must have worked in favor.
I think most important work for in favor of Democratic Party is abortion. Because the majority of the country is a pro-life, and the Supreme Court decision about abortion, and they give it all the freedom to the individual state, and created the chaos. And as a medical doctor, we believe that abortion in certain circumstances, for medical reason even. Of course, rape and all those things is there, but on top of that, some medical reason, sometimes abortion is necessary, and so I think this anti-abortion stand of the Republican Party, as well as Supreme Court verdict, make it more given authority to the different states. So different states are working different way. So there is a chaos, and I think that plays very important role in winning of the Democratic seats. And because they were thought that they will lose more, but they did not lose that many. And I think, and the Senate again, Democratic Party has a majority now, because it's a 50-50 or 49-51. So they have majority plus vice president. So I think White House is with the Democratic Party, Senate is with the Democratic Party, and Congress is with the slight majority of the Republican Party, which is in a way good. So every issue as supposed to be discussed and in democracy, will be discussed.
Wonderful. And another issue which many people were thinking would work very much against Democrats was their approach towards law and order situation. And on that front, references of defuncting of police, etc., and of course, crime always, you see it keeps on increasing, and you have seen a lot of cases of shooting in different parts, including New York, etc. So, how do you see that reflects in the way people decide who to vote?
Well, again, you are right that all this thing should work against the Democratic Party, right?
Yes.
But it did not work. That's what you're asking me question. Why it did not work?
Yes.
Because always election is local and on local issue. So even though person in Illinois or Chicago worried about defuncting police and certain law and order thing and liberal and but at the end of the day they all vote on local issues. What is important locally, taxes, property tax, and all those things. So that's why I think you cannot go in general that there is more crime or there is more illegal immigration. Only Texas people affected by that, or some New York City affected by that, or Chicago is affected by, but the rest of the country is not affected by that. So that's why, as they say, that all the elections are always local, and usually the election is always depending upon the wallet of the person. I mean economy, and so always is a stupid economy, and that's why right now Biden has a low rating because of the economy is doing bad and people are suffering. That's why.
Yeah. Okay, and you recently were sharing a platform with Governor of New York, and she now is formally elected Governor, Kathy Hochul. Little bit of your interaction with her as well as what you heard from her. One, it's your opportunity to congratulate her, as well as what do you think works in her favor and your expectations from her as governor?
I think I met her only a couple of weeks ago. I think I found her very pro people. As a public person, obviously, and but very mild manner, easy to access. Accessibility is there. There is no kind of very humble and on the ground. So I think that way she has a very good quality. And the thing which worked in her favor is, of course, in New York, the registered Democrats are far number than registered Republican. And number two, she's a woman. And to have first woman governor, it's very important and pride moment for all the women. So that's why I think she won the election.
Now let's move internationally in terms of America's role in the continued battle, war between Russia and Ukraine. We have discussed about that several times, and initially we thought it's not going to be as prolonged as it is already. So overall about Russia, Ukraine and America.
I think this war between Russia and Ukraine, obviously Russia is on the wrong side of the history, and some expert says that this kind of slow, prolonged war is always good because at the end the negotiation happens and the thing settles. If you don't go slow and if you go kind of more aggressive either side, then there will be more casualties, more deaths, more damage, and more destruction. And we must aware that Russia is a large superpower, has lot of nuclear weapons, and if someone makes a mistake in Russia in making the decision, or they kind of overestimate something, then there will be disaster. Just like today only, Russia fired 100 missiles in Ukraine, and one of the missiles went into the Poland. So it means now indirectly Russia has attacked the NATO member, and therefore let's wait what happens, how NATO responds to it. If NATO responds, probably NATO will not will cool down, because Russia has said that was not our missile. But they will find out whose missile was there. It's easy to find out. So hopefully cool heads should prevail and should not go, otherwise this war can be very nasty and very destructive and is not good for anybody.
And now let's look at India's role so far, and I think recently there was a visit of India's foreign minister to Russia also. How it has resulted into India's image globally?
I think India is neutral right now, and I think it's a good for India, because Indian decision to be not supporting or remains neutral or not supporting the Ukraine, it's a good for India, is in India's interest, because India needs a lot of help from the Russia too, since 70-80% of the Indian army or armaments or equipments are made in Russia, and so India cannot afford to disturb the Russia. Plus Indian oil, gas, natural gas and everything is also depending upon Russia too, a large majority part, and that's why I think stand of India is good for India. And let's see, on the contrary, it will be helpful, because you have to have some neutral party in order to make a negotiation and settlement.
And staying with India, going towards that which is generating a lot of heat, people are upset is a very mild word to say, shocked would go close to the murder of Shraddha Walker by Aftab, who were in live-in relationship. You must be following that, and him buying a big refrigerator, cutting her body into 35 parts, throwing every night 2 a.m. something, and he was caught because father of Shraddha came from Mumbai, reported to police on 8th November, then they questioned, and this is what has unfolded. And so I seek your first response to this, and also your take on the live-in relationship, because there are multiple factors, but that is legally now accepted in India also. Do you think that is part of the problem?
Yes, I mean, always good thing goes with the bad thing, right? I mean, it means all good thing has some consequences. And so this, what you're asking about living relationship is a Western way of living. And obviously in this era of social media and internet, you cannot help but the young generation is going to live their life as they think that it's more glamorous and impressive. And that's why nothing you or me can do, or no law or regulations can prevent that. So we have to face the fact, but obviously we have to make sure that our parents should, or family should make sure that person who lives with other person, who is that person is, whether and his background. And if you happen to be in the wrong association or friendship, then this kind of disaster can happen. What happened?
Moving forward, dating apps are also resulting into a lot of associations among strangers and different, and that is growing. There are many dating apps which many youngsters and of course elders are using in India. But moving forward, since we don't have enough time, what would be your advice for the society at large, or for youngsters, how, in terms of how to be more careful in developing relations?
Well, I think dating is a fact of the life, whether you are in the USA or in Europe or in India, and that is kind of that thing is out of ban, kind of, so nothing you can do. But obviously, when your child, your daughter or son is dating to someone, you must, as a parents, directly or indirectly, must figure it out that the other party, in their background, their what we call in Hindi or in the Indian language, quote unquote sanskar. And if you figure it out that, and if you find something unusual, then you should try to prevent that dating.
Absolutely. So our heart goes out for the family of Shraddha Walker, with concern, and still looking forward to the day when everybody is safe. As we conclude today's show, your parting words for our viewers.
Well, dear friends, now again Thanksgiving and Christmas is approaching. That's another festivity or festivals, festival months. So enjoy yourself, be happy, be merry, and love each other and respect each other. After saying that, I would like to say, God bless America, God bless India, God bless Indian American, and we'll see you next week. Till then, goodbye.